Hey y'all, Chris from Rockin Farm. Time to get some more pieces cut for our next piece of garden bed. What are you doing in here, chicken? I'm trying to work. So after I use the non-OSHA approved method to get all of these things cut down just into strips that still have the brackets on the corners, I cut them all to length. I make it a really quick job because I just put this this guide on here. So I've got the two guides that are the same width so that when I butt up against them, I'm nice and square. This is exactly 16 inches long, so I pull out to the end, cut, pull out to the end, cut, and then that way I know that I'm just cutting off 16-inch pieces and I can make pretty quick work of it. Alrighty, let's see if I can keep all my fingers. All right, let's assemble a side. Alrighty, so I tacked one piece down on that end. Now I just got to do the same down here. And then it's just a matter of having some fun and getting some pieces in here that I think are going to look nice and fit well. I like to kind of mix and match them a little bit. It doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. I just try not to use too many of one size and try to make them all look nice. I'll get them all in here. Make sure that they're relatively flush top to bottom. There's nothing perfect about this per se. And once I've got them all in here, I look frantically all over the barn for my tape measure that I should have had out before I started. And I'll just double check a top and a bottom measurement. Wow, that tape measure is bad. This isn't my normal one, but I think it's good enough for me to read. And I'll just check to make sure that they are relatively close before I come in here and put one, in each board just to hold it in place, and then I'll come back through and I'll put a couple more in each board. So hopefully I just edited out the majority of my loud compressor running on the camera here, but we're just going to repeat this process all the way down to the end. So once I get down there, I'll show you what I've got going on. All right, so what I have to do down here on this other end, you can see I already had this board tacked here. So now I just have to start playing around until I find that magical combination. And generally, you can get it pretty close, because if I've got a small gap in there, it is not the end of the world. So that's gonna work. Get them all lined up and get them tacked in. Alrighty, so there you have it. There is one of the sides to one of my 8-foot beds. And I do think it's important that I do mention to you that that is one of my 8-foot beds. All of the beds that you've seen built out there so far have been 16 footers. And the big difference is that on one of the end cuts, you have to leave like a 2 1/4 inch gap so that you can take the two sides that have the 2 1/4 inch gap and you can attach them together with a 2x6. So it gives a little strength there in the middle. But because these are 8-footers, it's a solid 8-foot 2x4. There's no need to attach two 8-foot 2x4s to make it a 16-foot bed. So I can just do them all the way across without leaving that gap. I'll try and show you what I mean when I go to the garden next time. Alrighty, that's all the time I have for project work tonight. Just got the one side done. So now let's give some chickens and guineas their treats. Alrighty, now we'll collect some eggs. Not too bad overall, and they're pretty eggs too. Alright y'all, I gotta go inside and get the boys fed, so I only got the one side of the box done tonight. I'm hoping to get a little bit more done tomorrow, and I'll tag that onto this video, and then I'll show you all me putting the box together, and this will probably air sometime towards the end of the week. But I guess I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, y'all, it's another day. Let's go see what kind of trouble we can get into. Guineas, you gonna come with me, guineas? Come on, let's go. As you can tell, it is a dreary, rainy, getting foggy Texas winter day. Of course, a couple of days ago, it was sunny and beautiful, but this is Texas. If you do not like the weather, wait 5 minutes and it will change. Chicken. Chicken, what are you doing now? And you're looking skinny, chicken, because you're wet. Alrighty, so I did everything backwards today. I got home, and the first thing I did was get all the breakfast and lunches ready and got the boys fed. And now it is time to get the eggs. So I'm coming out to get the eggs, which of course I forgot the carton back at the house. So I will be back shortly. Alrighty, first thing first, gotta chase the chicken. Of course, the guineas want some too. Alrighty, time to get some eggs. Got some dirty eggs today, but not a bad production. Alright, first I gotta get some more strips cut up. I have to run over to the garden because I can't really decide how wide I want to make these beds. My standard bed is 4 feet, but I can't reach across the 4-foot bed. And I've thought about putting this up against the fence. And if I put it up against the fence, then obviously I can't reach it from one side. So I was going to do 3-foot beds and put it up against the fence because I can reach the backside of a 3-foot bed. But 4-foot bed has more planting space. So I need to see if I can put this bed a couple of feet out from the fence and then I got to see if I've got 6 feet there. If I don't have 6 feet, then they're going to be 3-foot beds. My question will be answered for me. So if I was right here on the corner, coming out 6 feet, that gives me just enough room to walk around behind them. But does it give me enough from the corner of this box to this box? Well, it's 5 feet. That might work. I'm not really concerned over here. Although that does get into my walking onion patch. It looks like I'm going to want to be up against the fence, so 3-foot beds it is. I think that's going to look nice anyhow. So we'll put some 3-foot beds in here. Put a little space between them. Maybe even put a little arched trellis between them. Because if I put a 3-foot bed in here, I can probably let it stick out a little bit past the end here. All right, that makes our mind up for us. 3-foot beds it is. Before I run back into the wood shop, I just wanted to show y'all. So this is the biochar, and I know it looks totally black, like it's just layered on there thick, but this is a very nice thin layer of biochar. If you moved a piece of charcoal, you would find dirt underneath. We spread it really, really thin. We put compost on top, wood chips on top of that, and then the biochar does a good job of holding on to soil moisture. So I've actually got some more brush piles to burn, and I need to, because that particular bed over there still doesn't have biochar, and then the 2 that I'm going to put along this angle are going to need it too. So time to get to burning. Maybe the wind will die down enough this week and actually do it. These are the bases for some old Target stands that I used to use. Basically, you have 1x1x frames that slide down into these, and this makes the base so your target doesn't blow all over the place. I don't have much of a chance to shoot anymore. And I do have a steel target stand out there that I shoot at when I do shoot. So these are just a hair over 3 feet. I figured, why waste a perfectly good 8-foot 2x4? I'll just get these taken apart and use these. All right, we'll get these measured, then get them cut down to 3 feet. Okay, so I know that my side out there is basically 2.5 inches wide, pretty close anyhow. And I know that my 2x6 is 5.5 inches wide. So what I do is I measure in 3 inches. Draw a line. And this is going to let me know where I start my first board. So basically I am going to line this edge up with this line this edge up at the bottom. Of course, it's going to be difficult. I'm on camera. Line this edge up at the bottom. Tack it. Line this edge up with the top. And that line. Do the same thing down on the other end. And then what I'll do is, after I fill in this run, I'll come back over here and I'll attach these 2x4s, or I'm sorry, 2x6s with the screws that I took out. And that's it for the sides. So I'm going to get one side built. I'll show it to y'all, and then I probably need to get in to get some video edited. All right, y'all, so there you have it. This is where I'm going to leave off tonight. I wanted to make sure that in this one video, I showed you how to build one of the 8-foot sides, and I showed you how to build one of the 3-foot ends. You can see that the 2x6s, they overhang, and they overhang the width of the sides. So basically, I butt these up against the sides, screw it all together. I'll show you that in another video. I got some more cutting to do and nobody wants to watch that. It's also too dark outside to show you putting anything together. So I won't assemble the boxes until I have some light. And for now, I'm going to do some more cutting. I'm going to try to finish up the other side, finish up the other end cap, have all 4 pieces ready to go, and then I can put it together when I get out to the garden, and then I have to build another box this same size. So that's where I'm going to leave everybody for now. I'm going to do some cutting. I'm going to do some assembling. I'm going to get everything ready to go. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to edit video, and then I'm going to take care of my wife. So until I see everybody again, this has been Chris with Rockin' Farm. Be happy and live healthy.